everyone, welcome to Learning Literature with Purva. In today's video, we are going to discuss Edmund Spenser's work, The Faerie Queene. We are going to look at all the 6 books of The Faerie Queene, and we will also discuss some important questions that are asked in UGC NET exam. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then do subscribe to it and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. The Faerie Queene by Edmund Spenser is the longest poem in the English language. It is written in Spenserian stanza. So it is an allegorical poem about the brave knights in King Arthur's court. And the reason Edmund Spenser wrote this poem was to teach people how to live by 6 virtues. So the entire book is divided into 6 books. So the first 3 books were published in 1590 and the last 3 books were published in 1596. And the poem, The Faerie Queene, was dedicated to Queen Elizabeth, who is represented in the poem as the Faerie Queen Gloriana and Belphoebe. And due to this reason, Queen Elizabeth gave Edmund Spenser a pension for life. So the book 1 of the Faerie Queene represents the virtue of holiness or truth. So we have the Red Cross Knight and his lady Una. Now they are separated by the wizard called Archimago. This wizard Archimago tricks the Red Cross Knight into believing that Una is unchaste, Una is unfaithful. So the Red Cross Knight leaves and later he meets the deceptive Duasa. So Duasa leads the Red Cross Knight into captivity by the giant Orgoglio. So the Red Cross Knight is captured by this giant Orgoglio. Finally, Una meets King Arthur and both of them, Una and King Arthur, rescues the Red Cross Knight. And they take the Red Cross Knight into the House of Holiness so that he can recover. So in the House of Holiness, the Red Cross Knight meets Dame Celia and learns repentance from Dame Celia and her 3 daughters, Flagella, Speranza and Charissa. And this was one question asked in the NET exam, the names of these 3 daughters of Dame Celia. So please do remember the names. So after the Red Cross Knight recovers in the House of Holiness, he takes Una back to her parents' castle and he rescues her parents from a dragon. So in the end of book 1, the Red Cross Knight and Una get married. The book 2 of Faerie Queene represents the virtue of temperance. So temperance means moderation in everything. So here we meet Sir Gawain, who comes across a woman who wants to kill herself because her lover was tempted and bewitched by an evil witch called Acacia and was killed. So Sir Gawain promises her that he will take revenge. Later, Sir Gawain meets King Arthur. Together, they go to Acacia's island and find the Bower of Bliss, where Sir Gawain resists temptations to idleness, lust and greed. And finally, in the end of book 2, Sir Gawain captures Acacia in a net and destroys the Bower of Bliss and rescues everyone who was imprisoned there. Book 3 of Faerie Queene represents the virtue of chastity. So here we meet Lady Knight Britomart, who is pursuing Sir Artegall because she is destined to marry him. So Britomart's father had a magical mirror that could show people whatever they wanted to see. So one day Britomart came across the mirror and she wanted to see the person that she is destined to marry. And that time the mirror showed her the picture of Sir Artegall. So the antagonist of this book is seductress Male Casta, who represents unchastity, whereas Britomart represents chastity. And there is another character called Florimel, who represents beauty. So we see that Britomart defeats seductress Male Casta in this book and becomes victorious. Book 4 of the Fairy Queen represents the virtue of friendship. So in this book, first we see that Britomart meets Sir Artegall. And Artegall promises his love to Britomart, but first he must leave to complete his journey, to complete his adventure. This book revolves around the friendship of Britomart and Amoret. So after Britomart loses Amoret, she searches for her everywhere. In the meanwhile, King Arthur finds Amoret, who was kidnapped by a savage man and was imprisoned in a cave. So in the end of book 4, King Arthur and Amoret meet Britomart. Book 5 of the Fairy Queen represents the virtue of justice. Sir Artegall represents this virtue of justice. So Artegall at first kills deceptive Duasa. He drives away envy and distraction from the world. And then he fights with the blatant beast, who symbolizes dishonor. Book 6 of the Fairy Queen represents the virtue of courtesy. And we can see this virtue in Sir Calidore. Sir Calidore meets King Callipine and Lady Serena, who are bitten and are poisoned by the blatant beast. So Sir Calidore takes care of the king and his lady, and later he binds the mouth of the blatant beast, but he is unable to kill the beast. Now let's take a look at some important facts about the Fairy Queen. King Arthur appears in all the 6 books of the Fairy Queen. King Arthur is the central hero of the Fairy Queen, and he is in a quest to find the Fairy Queen. And the Fairy Queen celebrates Queen Elizabeth and Protestant faith. The Fairy Queen is based on the book Morte d'Arthur, written by Thomas Malory, and this was a question asked in NET. And also there is a fragment of the 7th book of the Fairy Queen called the Mutability Cantos. So this was also another question asked in NET, so please do remember. When you're studying for NET exam, do remember what each knight symbolizes. Like the Red Cross Knight symbolized truth, Sir Gawain represents temperance, Lady Britomart represents chastity. So do remember the virtues associated with each knight. Do remember that Red Cross Knight was offered Una's hand in marriage at the end of book 1. These are the questions that are frequently asked in NET. And Queen Elizabeth is represented by 2 characters. One is Fairy Queen Gloriana and another is Belle Phoebe. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found the video helpful. If you found the video helpful, then do like it and share with your friends. I will be back very soon with a new video on a literary work. Till then, stay tuned to Learning Literature with Purba. Do visit our online academy www.learningliteratureWithPurba.com to discover a wide range of online courses and classes for English literature and creative writing. Also stay in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for watching.